Hello everybody. How are you all doing today? It is Saturday, May 11th, and I'm going to just give you guys a few moments to hop on, and I will get things loaded on my end so I can follow along with comments. If you are there, say hello so that I know it is working on your end. And in a moment, I will show you guys what we're going to be up to today. I have this scrapbook page. This is not what I'm going to be making today, but yesterday was group 1 of the Artisan design team's projects being shared on the Stampin' Up page. So those are shared on both Facebook and Instagram by Stampin' Up. The 20 of us are split up into 4 groups of 5. I always get it mixed up between 4 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 4, but we are 4 groups of 5. And so our group was tasked with using the mix and match ephemera, and we were asked to make both cards and a scrapbook page. So I have both to show you guys today. Again, not for my project that I'm going to make for you guys, but I promised the other day that once they were revealed by Stampin' Up, that I would share them here with you guys. So I am going to show you the scrapbook page first. I apologize, it does not fully fit on the screen. So I will just have to sort of scoot back and forth on here. I am going to just move this down a little bit. I moved things because I was doing some techniques the other day, and we'll just see if this fits in. I can see someone is there, but I don't know who. So feel free to say hello, but no pressure to if you would rather remain, just watch quietly. But this is the page that I made with the ephemera packs. This is from our trip to Italy when we went to the Amalfi Coast. And then in that package of elements was this cute little lemon. So that was my inspiration for this page. I thought it went perfectly with all of our photos, not all of our photos, but some of our photos. We did take a lot more than this, but the tour guide we had for the day just took us to spots that he knew we would love. So he said, you've got to go to this little restaurant. So he took us there and we sat under this canopy of lemons and had our lunch, and this was our view. So I had yet to scrapbook any of these photos from Italy. And so I thought that they would be a really good set of photos to use with these elements here. So there is the walkway to our table. This was actually when we first got to the Amalfi Coast. It wasn't at the restaurant, but I loved that view too. So I have tied in different elements. There are packages of labels and like little journaling tags. There are packages of little details like this. There are words. So I have used a variety of them, and then I blended and spattered in behind there. I also pulled in an envelope because we do have the mix and match card bases and envelopes as well, which I will just bring some of them over here for you guys. So you get all of these really cute card bases and envelopes. There's 2 different packs here, and this is elements of because I've used some of them, but I'll show you guys the ones that I used as well. So you get all of these, and then there's also these pattern envelopes. These ones are from the more floral patterns. My other ones are laid out with little elements to use, and I'll show you how I have them laid out as well. But I chose to use an envelope on my page with the thought that you could tuck more photos in behind here, or I could even have each family member journal and then just tuck that in that envelope so that it's not filling up the whole page, but it's still there to go back on. So I think I will actually do that. I do have this tacked down with a little, actually no, this one's not. I left it open there. So you could just tuck that in there and make use of the envelopes as journaling pockets. All right, now separate from my page, I'm going to just move this so that it's not distracting from the cards, but I'll bring in my cards and show you. Now the cards are for sure going to be a class. So I won't go too much into the detail here. I'll just show them to you guys. But if you are interested in taking this class with me, you can comment here or stay tuned. I was hoping to have all the information ready for you guys today. We've just been swamped with the online sale, so I haven't had a chance to get that all ready. But this is the first card I made. And I just love those colorful elements and thought that how they tie together, and thought they went well with this base here. Then this one here, I also used a bunch of the ephemera from the packages, tied in some other embellishments, and used one of the card bases. And then with this one here, I brought in some cardstock and a background stamp and used some of the elements and some embellishments as well. So I have posted the photo of these, but if you'd like to make these along with me, I would love to have you guys join in. Now, I will also just show you, I shared in my post that once I got started, there were just so many possibilities. So this is how I have some of this stuff laid out. I was just pulling things together. I thought that went well together. Oh gosh, the larger flower that is supposed to go with these is not sitting here. It has disappeared, so I will have to find it, but there's a large flower that goes well with these. So I just cluster them together. This mat was full of little clusters of possibilities of things that I could make with these. So I've got these ones here. I thought these would all go nicely together. So that's how I began. I just began with gathering, coordinating elements. Hi Tracy, how are you? So that is, I was just saying, Tracy, that when I began designing with these ephemera packs, I found it easy for me to gather coordinating elements. It feels a little bit painful at first to pull them all from the backings because they come in these little backings like this. And it's so nice when they're still attached and you can just tuck those sheets back in the packaging. But I found it really led me in my design to just pull the elements that I thought went together. I went from the labels to I'll show you here. Then there's sheets of flowers. So they come in different packages, but I would pull the coordinating flowers, the coordinating labels, the coordinating words, because you have other packages with words here. I will see if I have those ones. I may have packaged back up. So let me just see. No, I've got some here. You do get 2 sheets of each one as well. So that is really nice for wanting to make, if you want to make doubles. You don't get doubles of the card bases though, so you would need to purchase more than one of those. But you get these die cut words, you get labels that already have phrases printed on them. So there's all kinds of possibilities with these ephemera packs. And I am looking forward to doing a lot more with them. I have a whole bunch of little clusters saved with things in mind. And I will bring that page back in one more time to show you this, this little today here. That is what I used on here. So I used the little today there. This label is from there as well. And then we were also given the Simply Said, or I can't remember if we were given this one or if I purchased this one, but I used the Celebrate from there, and that is actually the only stamping that I did on there. And then I just journaled a little bit. Oh, got to bring that in view. I actually cut this label in half. That was one label, and I cut it in half to use it in 2 different places. All right, so that is my page. I will put these aside. Hi, Diane, how are you? You're working on your workshop. Awesome. All right, so I'll move all these ephemera packs aside. How about you guys? Do any of you have the ephemera packs? I think they are great. I was a little concerned. Sometimes it's like, oh no, gosh, what am I going to do with these? But then once I got creating, it was just like endless possibilities. So I was actually quite happy with them. Hi, Ramona, how are you? All right, so before I jump into the project that I'm going to make for you guys today, I want to just give you a quick recap of what's coming up. So the Take to the Sky suite, if you're just catching up, I have not had a chance to make the pricing and dates for these upcoming events, but my goal is to get those done at some point this weekend so that by the beginning of the week, you guys will have that information. I won't go live tomorrow, but I will go live Monday. So I should have that information for you guys Yes, we used to have more cards and envelopes, but these ones only come with one. So you just have to buy 2 packs, I guess. But I'll make sure that I have this information for you guys for Monday. So I will be doing my Take to the Sky Suite class. There is still going to be the Perennial Lavender class. I can still take last minute registration for my Thoughtful Wishes Stamp Club. If you're interested in that, I will show you these cards. This is one that we'll be making here, or Thoughtful Journey, Thoughtful Wishes, either way. And then this one here, and then I will be making a card for the people who participate. Now, normally, the card that I make is for people who are committed to the 10 months of Stamp Club. But because I didn't clarify that, and as a kickoff to this new catalog, I'm actually going to make that card for everybody this month. The Stamp Club people will still get the added benefit of their host benefits, so they do still get some extra perks. But these are the cards. If you would like to join us, you can let me know. Stamp Club is a $40 purchase. This month, you do need to purchase a 1/4 pack of the DSP. So if you aren't interested in purchasing the whole pack and you want to go with just the 1/4 pack, I can get you a share of it between the various members of club who are splitting 1 pack, because you will need to cut up 1 full sheet for this card here. And then once you see the other stuff, that the possibilities that there are, you're going to want it anyways. But anyhow, so that is the Thoughtful Wishes Stamp Club. It is, let me just grab my calendar. I tucked some paper on top of it. And so that will be May 27th for Stamp Club. I also have bingo coming, and I am considering a crop in June. If you are interested in doing a local crop, please let me know, and I can confirm whether or not I'll go ahead with it. So I will reach out to those of you who usually do it just to gauge interest. But if you're watching and you know you want to do one in June, please message me and I will make sure that you get the information for that. Now, if you are across Canada tuning in and you are, hi Audrey and Sam, if you are across Canada and you're tuning in and you are interested in purchasing retired product, we have an online sale taking place right now. It is in a Facebook group. We can, with local people, you can pick up locally at my home. So you could shop from all vendors and just do 1 pickup. If you are across the country, you can shop from all vendors and we will just send you 1 shipment. So you don't have to pay each vendor individually or get multiple packages sent to you. We will combine that all for you. One last thing is the starter kit special. If you love the in colors, this is the special that you want to get in on. For the month of May, you can join Stampin' Up! For the cost of $135. There is 1 tax on that. The shipping is free. And you, as usual, you get to pick $165 in product for the cost of $135. And then Stampin' Up! Is going to give you all of these in color items. So they are a value of $112.75. You get the in color ink pads, the in color cardstock, in color DSP, and the in color markers. So you can always reach out to me. I'll post that information as well. I just realized I hadn't actually formally posted it because I just keep telling you guys about it on live. Okay, sorry, I had to take a sip of water there. Now, I have a swap card that I'm going to case for you guys today. The other day, I shared all of my swap cards from the trip, from the Mexico trip, and because time is tight this weekend, I am actually casing one of them. So I'm going to case this one, but I am going to create this in 2 different color palettes. So because it's a fairly quick to go together card, I thought, why not make 2 of them? This paper is the Thoughtful Journey DSP that we're going to be using in Stamp Club this month. So anybody doing Stamp Club, you can always come back to this video and then come back to this video and get some ideas on different color combinations to make more of these cards yourself, because you will have all these leftover patterns, and I've chosen 2 that are not the ones we're using in Stamp Club. So hopefully this is helpful to my Stamp Club members as well as everybody else. All right, so I have a few different patterns that I thought would be pretty. So these are not the ones I settled on. This one's very similar to the Stamp Club one. And I thought I'd leave that one because if they wanted to make more of this card here, they would have a similar pattern. They would probably just want to switch out the card base color. So I'm not using that one, but this one would make a really great pattern for this card. So would this one. Again, I'm not using this one. This one would as well. I mean, they all would. And this one. I love these. This one would also be, there's so many, like they would all work really well. Hi, Kathleen, how are you? All right, so I'm gonna move these aside and I'm going to show you guys the ones that I settled on for creating these cards with. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go with 2 color palettes. I am going to go with, gosh, what is this color, you guys? How can I not remember what it's called? Petunia Pop. How could I forget that already? So I am going to go with this pattern here. On Petunia Pop, there is going to be a layer of white in there as well. So I will copy this layout just with different colors. So I'm going to do this one on Petunia Pop and then Pretty Peacock. So we're going to bring this in here. And then I'm also going to do an alternate color palette of this sheet on Old Olive and then Misty Moonlight. So let me know what you guys think of those. And that is what I'm going to create with today. So I'll give you guys the measurements as I go. And I can edit this description with these measurements too. I don't always put the measurements in the description, but I will do that later for you guys. But first of all, I need to cut some layers. And I'm going to just cut those with you guys today. Sometimes people are unsure of how to, if they're just beginning, are unsure of how to begin cutting their cardstock down from a full sheet. So this is a great card to be able to show you guys that with, because there aren't too many layers or steps. So I'm just going to bring in my trusty old cutter. Don't mind that that cutter is retired, but I'm going to use this one and I'm going to switch mine up to tent fold. So I'm not going to do the book fold. This is a book fold here, but I'm going to do a tent fold. I just like tent fold. I know they don't stand up as well, but they're easier to photograph if you're standing them up. Okay, so I have for palette number 1, I'm just going to bring this back in. That's this one here. I have a 4 1/4. I should have slowed down there, but I will do one more. So 4 1/4 by 11. So I just took my full sheet and put it on the cutter at 4 1/4 and cut one piece. I can set this one aside. I don't need that one. Now, so we're going to move that aside. I already have the white piece cut, so I will give you guys that measurement. Now for this layer here, which, what color is that? Wild wheat. I think this is wild wheat that they've used there. For this one here, I just have to measure, so I'll give you guys the measurement. This one is 3 1/2 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to cut this at 3 1/2 on the long side, and then I'll rotate and cut at 4 7/8, and then that way I have enough for 2. Okay, so that's going to be, this is our palette here. So just bring this back in. What do you guys think of this one? So that is palette number 1. I'll just move that aside. So now I'm done. Actually, let's look inside here. Yeah, we're good there. So I'll move these aside. Now for palette number 2, I just need to grab a, you know what? I have a card base all ready to go in my pack of cardstock. Sometimes if I have overcut, I will just tuck that back in the package. So I already have one ready. So that one was, you just tuck it into 4 1/4 and then you're good. Then you score at 5 1/2. I still have to score the other one. Now I will cut a piece of Petunia Pop. This one again, I'm going to cut at the 3 1/2 right here. And then rotate and cut at 4 7/8. So this is palette number 2. Now we also need to cut some DSP. So I'll give you guys the measurements of these strips here. Now these are, they look to be about 1 inch, but let's see. They're actually, well, let me see if they're 1 inch. Yeah, they're 1 inch. One's just a little bit less, but that's okay. So they are 1 inch wide, probably by 4 3/4. No. Oh, I'm thinking of the not the white layer. They are, let me just see here, 4.5. 4.5. So what I'm going to do first with this one here, I'm going to go from this end to get the 4.5 because this is already top heavy on the pattern. So I'm going to go to, and actually I'm going to just cut at 3 first. By cutting at 3 first, I'm just going to tell you my strategy here. By cutting at 3 first, I can still maintain this whole 3-inch piece in case I don't want to do this same layout again. I still have a full 3-inch piece to do something else with. So I am going to cut this one at 3 here and go like this. Now I can save this 3-inch piece. I could choose to do another one of these after, or I could do something else with it. But you could get 2 cards worth out of one 6x6 sheet. Now I want to flip this and cut at 4.5. So this is scrap. And then I can rotate this and cut this at every inch. And that will get me my 3 panels. So I've got 1 and then 2, 3. So we have these 3 patterns here, and I want to just keep those in order. Now with this one, it's a little bottom heavy. So thinking about where this greeting is going to go, I'm actually going to rotate. I think I'm actually going to go to the top as well on this one. Let's see. Sometimes I'll cut a little bit off of each end. But first I'm going to start with cutting at the 3 inches. So we're going to cut at 3 inches, set this piece aside, save that for another project. Now with this one I can decide, do I want to go this much to the bottom or do I not? I think, oh gosh, this is so pretty, that little bit of teal there. Yeah, I am going to cut straight to the top here, or not straight to the top. I'm going to put the top right to the 4.5 and cut there. So now we have this. So that will be color palette number 2. Now she does have a little strip of DSP in the middle, but I think what I'm going to do is bring back in these little offcuts. So this was the offcut from here. I'm going to save that, and if we have time, I will maybe put a liner. And this is the offcut from the other one. So we're going to save those. We'll just keep them handy. And now we can put this cutter aside. If there's time, I will cut a white layer for the inside. Otherwise, we will stick with making our 2 card fronts here. All right, so what we have next, sorry, I'm just turned around putting the cutter away. We are going to glue down both of our little, oh, I forgot to cut this one down into 3s. So I'll just bring in my little cutter so it doesn't take up the whole table. So this one here, we're going to cut down as well. Did all of you see the Northern Lights? Where in the world are you? And could you see the Northern Lights from where you were? I should check all these patterns to see if one of them looks like Northern Lights, because the embossed texture on here is so much like the Northern Lights that I think would be really cool. It would actually be really cool. This has got me thinking. This embossing folder might be really neat with an ink technique right on the folder, and then I'm going to try that. Remind me to try making a Northern Lights look with this embossing folder. Hi, Kay, how are you? And Alexina. So nice to have you guys join in. All right, so this is also made by Kay, a different Kay, but what she did here, I don't know if you could see it at the beginning, she has textured this layer with this folder. That's what got me thinking that this would look really neat as Northern Lights. So I'm going to have to give that a try. Just maybe not today, but I am going to have to give that a try. So these are glued down to the white layer first, and then they are textured. So I am going to bring both of these in, and I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal to adhere these. And then we'll run them through the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine with and I'm actually going to, I wouldn't normally just put a strip down the middle, but that's what I'm going to do today. And I didn't dry fit first like I normally would, so I better do that really quick to make sure that we're all good. Normally I would tell you guys, dry fit first. Do a quick little dry fit, make sure it's all gonna line up. So I'm going to, there's gonna be a little bit less room in between these two, but that's okay. We have the border, and I want to be sure that that is more symmetrical from one side to the other. And then I can just make the border in between these symmetrical. So I could have trimmed a little bit more off of these, but that's okay. So now we just want to get that lined up in there. There we go. So we've got pattern 2, even though I did it first. And then this is pattern 1. So now this time I'll make sure I dry fit first for you guys so that you'll know what I'm talking about. So dry fit is just where you line everything up first before you, and fit it before you glue anything down, so that you know that it's all gonna line up. Because sometimes it's not so easy to just peel something back and redo it. There we go. And I'll do the same thing here. I'm just doing a strip up the middle. This will get like squished into place really well with that embossing folder when it goes through the machine. So I'm not too worried about not having a ton of adhesive on these layers. I apologize. I hope my hair is not getting in your way as I try to line these up. Oopsie, got some on my mat, but that's cleanable, wipeable. All right, and you can see here, I went over the edge just a little bit. Here's my tip for you guys. Just fold that back over. Don't try to rip it off. Just fold it back onto the back side, and then you're good to go. There we go. So now we have our 2 panels, and we need to emboss these. So I am gonna bring in the Stamp Cut and Emboss machine, so bear with me for a second. And we're gonna use this big, huge embossing folder. Now, maybe I can even emboss these at once, so let's see. I'm positive I can. So as long as I like the pattern that is on each of them, then we can run these through together, and why not? So you can save your shoulder some of the embossing. Look at that. So we're gonna do, and this one, I think I'm actually going to, do I wanna rotate that? I'm rotating this one. I want some of this pattern in here. So I just flip that one upside down. So now I'll bring in my Stamp Cut and Emboss machine. I haven't used this one before, so I just need to make note, it is not a 3D. Sorry, you guys have my cutting pads right in your face for a second. Okay, so we need to put down the platform, and number 2, my little thing fell out here, so I just need to tuck that back in. One layer fell out on the floor when I leaned over. Now this needs to go on here. I just love that color. And then we can put the pad on top. Now, that doesn't feel right. I think I'm supposed to use, I should have read this. It's been a while since I have used a regular embossing folder, you guys. Okay, I need to switch. You guys probably all knew that. I need a cutting pad instead of this white one. Did you all know that and you were saying that to yourself? Alrighty. So we're gonna just switch. I need to get out some new cutting pads. Hopefully this will fully emboss. It should, because I'm gonna put that crack in between the 2 pieces of white. Okay, now we should be good here. There should be more resistance now. It was a little too easy. Now, let me just see. This feels too tight. We'll see. I don't think it's a 3D folder. So swirly embossing folder. Maybe I'm just afraid of, yeah, I'm just afraid. I was just being a wimp, that's all. And it's probably a little tighter because it is 2 layers. I have glued DSP onto the basic white, so that could have resulted in a little bit more resistance there. Hi, Ruby. Sorry, the door is open in here, and so the dog can just come right in. There we go. Isn't that cool? How it has the texture and the DSP. And this is sandwiched on there really well now, so that little bit of adhesive was just fine. I love this, and I think that would look super cool as a Northern Lights technique. So if you did see the Northern Lights and have photos, I made a post earlier today asking you to share your photos of the Northern Lights. I would love to see them. So I've shared some of my favorites from yesterday. Sorry, I just had to drink some water there, and would love to see what you guys have. Now, you guys can tell me what you think of this. I think that color combo is okay. I don't normally design anything on the fly. I am normally way too chicken to make something for the first time on a live. So it is okay to tell me if you don't love it. I was going to say be kind, but constructive feedback is always good. So I can handle it, but normally I'm just the big chicken, and I don't like to design something on the fly. It's got to be like ready and designed and prepped. So this is maybe not a first. I have done a this or that. Hi, Susan. So with this card base here, this was 4 1/4 by 11. I scored that at 5 1/2. If you prefer a book fold like Kay made for hers, you're going to do 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and score at 4 1/4. I just flipped mine around to 10 fold. There we go. So I did do a this or that design a couple of times where people guided me through what to make, but I did actually have some of my ideas ready. I just gave them a couple options to choose from. So this is not typical for me to create the card for the first time on live. So at this 5 1/2, I'm going to just bone fold that. There we go. And now here is combination 1. Whoopsie. And combination 2. What do you guys think? And then here is Kay's combination. And my guess is that Kay probably made various versions of this card here. She probably used the pack and did something similar. I'm not sure. I didn't see other ones because this is the one I got, but that's my suspicion as to what she did. So next I'm going to glue these white layers down to the colored cardstock. So we're just going to do this. I love this paper. Do you guys have this paper yet? Is it in your collection? If not, is it on your wish list? I love these 6x6 packs that Stampin' Up! Has been coming out with that have these beautiful scenic backgrounds. They make card making so easy. Now I need to think about how to tie them into some scrapbooking because it has been lots of fun to be scrapbooking again. All right, so that is those there. Now I want to dimensional these 2 layers onto the card bases. So we're just going to dimensional these. Onto here. Does anybody have Mother's Day plans? I hope this is going on straight. I'm trying to do this without sticking my head right in your view. Now this one as well. And I am going to use white labels on each of these. So here we go, there's this one. This type of embossing from years ago when we did this technique, we called that inlaid embossing. So when you put a layer of paper together first and then put it into your embossing folder, that's what we called it. But Maybe there's a different name for it. Now I have some labels. This one is from Delicate Forest. And I thought I was going to put this one up here, but I don't know, you guys. I kind of like it down here too. So I have two different styles. I have this style here, which I think fits this one better, especially if I were to, I think I will put this one up top, and then this one on this card, the greeting is going to go on the bottom. And I think I'm going to stick to this label here too. I think one's going to go at the top and one's going to go at the bottom. Now I have the Simply Said stamp set. I may use this one because it is polymer, but let's try. I do have a couple of extra of these cut just in case I goofed. So I'll keep these handy. I may try one with the I Appreciate You from the Thoughtful Wishes stamp set. So let's see if I can stamp this straight. Now I just need to bring back in, oh, there's her card. I wanted to just see how she stamped her greeting. So she did her greeting with the coordinating color. I think I might try Memento on mine. And excuse me just getting myself in your view here for a second while I line up the greeting, okay? So now I'm going to bring in Memento. And I'm going to try one and we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I may switch to Thank You from Simply Said. Let's see how Thank You is going to fit if I switch this over to a clear block as well. So we're going to have two options, and maybe I should do one and the other. We'll see. We'll see what works here. So that's Thank You, and we're going to try and I Appreciate You, okay? So we'll see if I can stamp this straight enough. If I had my Stamparatus set up, that would be easier, but let's try. There we go. So we're going to do one with I Appreciate You, and we're going to do one with Thank You. I'm not sure that I feel up to attempting that one again. So let's see if Thank You works. I'm going to test run this on a scrap piece of paper. I haven't used that Thank You yet, and I always find that inking it for the first time, you don't get the best stamped image, so I always like to, I just took that off of there, it was a little crooked. So I'm just picking that up one more time. I find that you need to ink once or twice before you actually use your image for the first time. Do you guys find that? All right. So now we're going to do Thank You. Oh, that one's, I did not center that one very well. So good thing I have some spares here, you guys. And look, I did a better job with the rubber image than I did with the polymer one. I just wasn't even looking to line that up straight. That wasn't smart. Okay, so now, there we go. There we are. So now we can put that Memento away. We're almost done. I just need to pull in some embellishments. So I have my catalog here. The embellishments is one of the pages that we have where you can go to the embellishment page and see all of the embellishments. A lot of the other products like DSP, there is not a page of DSP, but we do have embellishments on a page. So let's see. Again, I don't usually decide this on the fly. I usually have this all set ahead of time. I think that number 29, the adhesive backed pearl trio, might be a good one. And then let's see what colors we have for the other ones here. So the adhesive back pearl trio may work well here, and I think that's actually what Kay used on her card. And then for the Misty Moonlight and Old Olive version, let's see what would work. Perhaps, number 15 is the Ombre Matte Decorative Dots. I will grab those. And I may even grab the butterflies for this one. We'll see. You guys can maybe help me decide. Okay, so here is the adhesive backed pearl trio. I also have these silver, or sorry, gray, smoky slate and gray pearls. Okay, let's try those. And we're gonna try those. All right, so let's just see if we think the butterflies would work well. We have a couple here. And we have these here, so let's give this a try. I'm gonna use the butterflies, I think, with this one. And then maybe the smoky slate on this one. I think that's what we'll go with. All right, so next I just need to adhere the greetings. I'm going to just snip some of these borders off of my, you know what, I'll just do, I like to save the borders for when I need strips of dimensionals, but we are going to make this work. Is anybody stamping this weekend? This one is going to go just right here. There we go. And then this one is going to go up at the top there. There we are. Whoops. Now this one can go just right up here. Hopefully that's straight. There we go. So we have two different color schemes, slightly different. I just switched up where the greeting goes based on where the pattern was the most condensed. And then next, I'm going to add in some butterflies on this one. Got a couple little ones in here. Now these ones might need a tiny little glue dot because they have lost their stickiness. Now let's see where the next one should go. Maybe we'll put one more small one up above the greeting. That one's going to go right there. There we go. So there is technically card number 2, though I finished that as card number 1. So we'll put these guys aside. I feel like it's missing some twine. I may add some in or something like that after, but I'll keep it with the same design for now. All right, now we're going to add in some of these smoky slate and basic gray pearls on this one here. So I think it needs the smoky slate because I feel like it's just a little bit too dark if I go with the basic gray. So let's see, we're gonna go large, small, and I think that's it. I might even just put a little bow behind there. I think I will, and that will finish off this one. So let's see, I will mock it up with baker's twine bow and we'll see how that looks. Now we'll have to do a quick check on the inside and see. I think we're gonna stick a little bow under there, you guys. I have to make it a little bit bigger so that we can see those. And we're gonna just gently lift this up and I'll tack that underneath there. There we go. I'm going to tuck that right inside there. I think it needed a little something extra. I just need to move this, adjust this tail. There we go. There. So this one needs to, I just cinched that back a little too much. There. So now we have card 1, card 2, and the original inspiration. Now, I did say that I would do one of the insides. So let's at least put an inside on this one here. And what I will do, because this is narrow, like quite a bit narrower than here, is I am going to, let's see what we have from the Thoughtful Wishes bundle. I'm actually going to coordinate my inside with the front. So I had that strip left over of this here. I do have some scraps though. 1 second. I will just see if I can find those quickly, because if I can cut it from those, I do here. So we're going to do this. I'm going to cut this. This was, let's measure. The height of this one is 4 7/8. So I will cut this to 4 7/8 to begin with. Don't mind that those are squishing my cards. So 4 7/8. This way I could save that other piece for another card. Now I'll bring back in my little cutter. And I'm going to do a 1/2 inch piece. Okay. And I'm going to stamp this, which I have. Oh, did I put it back? I may have put that back. I did not put that back. So let's just find that image. Here I said I was going to stamp it for you guys, and I just need to locate where it is. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to stamp on this. In the meantime, I'll just quickly get the other elements ready. So this is 4 7/8 by 1/2 inch. I want to do a white piece that is 3 inches wide by 4 7/8. So I'm going to bring back in my large cutter. Sorry for the trouble. So we're going to do 4 7/8. Rotate this and cut at 3. Okay. Now these are going to be the inside of my card. And I'll just quickly see if I can find that stamped image so that I can, now let me just double check that I'm not looking right at it and I'm missing it. Because that would be no surprise if it was right in my path here. All right, so 1 second. This is going to go on the inside. I'm going to stamp on this guy and put that there. And then we're going to put, maybe we won't put this. Does that? It looks kind of funny. I'll cut a piece and then we'll see how it looks. I'll cut a 1/2 inch piece of this and we'll see if it's too, looks almost like too many cross sections, but you guys let me know your thoughts. We'll see if we should do this here with this. I don't know. I don't know that I love that. Well, we'll try stamping this and see if just stamping it looks good or if we should do just the DSP. Because there's this, hi Paulette, that looks too small. 1 second, I'm just going to go see if I have the stamp handy for this one here. I am looking to stamp this tall image on there. Sorry about that. This one here. We are just going to try to locate this image. That's really bizarre that it is not right here. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking I was going to stamp on the inside of the card. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you think, it's not in those ones, that I should stamp this one, if I can find it, that's this image here, on this little strip here for the inside of this card? I made my Stamp Club samples long ago, so maybe I was thinking I would stamp tone on tone with this image. I do too, Paulette. It's really pretty paper on this image here, and a missing stamp may kibosh my intent to stamp that for you guys. I'm just having trouble finding it. As soon as I get off live, if I decide to move on, I'm sure that it will turn up as soon as I'm done. I would just really love to stamp that for you guys. If you're still here, sure, go for it. Yeah, I like that idea too, Paulette. If it doesn't turn up, I don't want to make you wait. So Ryan's going to look for it for me while I give you a quick recap of the cards. And if he finds it, I will finish it up. If not, I will finish it up and post the photo for you guys. But I'll just give you a quick recap, Paulette, in case you're just tuning in. This was a swap card that I received on the Mexico trip. It was made by Kay Kaltoff. I'm not sure if I'm saying that properly. And so I decided to case her design and use 2 other color palettes. So I switched that up and made these 2 color palettes. So I will finish up this card, and I will post a photo of the inside. I think I might prefer this little strip of DSP over that little strip of the, this little strip of cardstock over this strip of DSP. And I almost feel like it's too many cross sections to put both. Let me know if you agree. I do not normally design on the fly. I normally have everything designed ahead of time, but decided I would give it a try with the simplicity of this and make 2 for you guys on the fly. Anyhow, I think I'm going to have to stamp that and then add it afterwards and then post a photo of it for you. So hopefully you like these cards. I hope they inspire you to use, whether you have this pack of paper or whether it's another pack of paper. I hope that this gives you a layout to try with them. Thank you, Kay, for your card. It was a great inspiration for today's live. I will come back to you guys on Monday. It'll likely be evening for Monday, so 7 Central, but I will post to confirm that. I will not go live tomorrow. I will do the draws tomorrow for those of you who shared the videos over this past week. So if you would like a chance to win some of the cards that I made, then you can do so and just comment, and then I'll do them all on Sunday. The card that I made on my most recent live before today was this one. That one is not, you can please do share it if you'd like to, but this one is actually going to be the thank you card that I make for people who participate in my Cinco de Mayo special. So you still have until tomorrow to get in on that if you want. In Canada, it's a $55 purchase, and you will receive a gift from me, and you will also receive this card in the mail if you use this host code or if you contact me to place your order for you before the end of tomorrow. All right, I will run. We are still madly working on the online sale we have going on. If you're in Canada and you want to participate, either some vendors are actually still adding items. I am myself, because it's just been so busy getting everyone else's stuff ready. Or as a shopper, we can ship across Canada, or if you're local, you can just come to my home and pick up your items from all vendors in one pickup. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was nice to have you here, Paulette. And I will be back again Monday. Have a good weekend. And if you are a mom or fill that role, happy Mother's Day.